you've been able to do things that I think no human being has ever been able to pull off. I think one of your greatest accomplishments is you've been able to pull off the 6 p.m. checkout from a hotel.
Yes. Oh, the British voice is crucial for the 6 p.m. Bro, you just have to do a British voice, be super entitled. You had to put them under duress.
Yes.
So you have to call the guy, you have to call the front desk, be like, hello,
Yeah.
sorry, my flight was canceled out of Europe. They'll say no.
Yeah.
And then you say, I need to speak to your manager, and keep taking it up the ladder.
But I've seen you do it raw dog, no warm up.
Yeah.
But I've seen you dunk with Timberlands.
Look, you have to be pressed. If you're like calm and, cool, like, listen, I would really like, 4 p.m. checkout, please. That guy, you'll hang up on his face. Right. No, you leave at 11. But if you call like, listen, I need a 4 p.m. checkup. It's so important. Thank you so much. Like, you assume that it's done.
Right.
Like Azhar, I think Azhar was in India touring with like Hari Kundbolu or something like that. And I was doing shows in Egypt. They literally FaceTimed me because they were like, this guy won't give us a late checkout. So they FaceTimed me from India. They were like, can you please do this? Yeah. So I did it over FaceTime, and I got him at 4 p.m. at this like amazing 5-star overbooked. The lady was so upset. Incredible. Like, I can't do it. I was like, give me your manager. I have to take care of this right now. And they were touring, like, I think with the U.S. Embassy or something. I was like, I'm with the U.S. government. It's right. And while speaking with a British accent, which is hilarious.
Why does he have a British accent?
But it worked.
But he works for the U.S. government.
She was like, okay, sorry.
So watch this. I'm the front desk. Yep. Sheraton Charlotte, how can I help you?
Hello, yes, my flight has been cancelled out of Europe. I'm in quite of a situation, unfortunately. Originally, my flight was at 2 p.m., which would allow me to leave right now. It would be so totally easy to make my flight, but unfortunately, they're looking for a different aircraft currently. So I need to get a 4 p.m. checkout, please.
Sir, I'm so sorry. Checkout is at 11 a.m.
I'm aware of when checkout is, okay? Unfortunately, now, first of all, you should know we've done a lot of business with your hotel. If you look at my history, you will see that we have spent quite a lot of money. Now, if you want us to sustain this beautiful working relationship, then I would suggest you help me out and give me a 4 p.m. Oh, look, hold on a second. Unfortunately, the flight looks like it's not going to be until 8 p.m., so it was 4 p.m. Now I need a 6 p.m. checkout. Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. I'm just looking.
Hello?
Yes.
I need a 6 p.m. checkout. I'm really sorry, but I have another meeting that I have to jump into. So thank you very much for giving me the 6 p.m. checkout. I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, we can do that.
Perfect.
And that's how you do the 6 p.m. checkout.
That's how you do the 6 p.m. checkout.
Hurry right away, no delay, stop today. Make your daddy glad you have had such a lad.
You basically welcomed me into the game of stand-up comedy, but one of the things that you put me onto was this thing called the realness lexicon.
Yes.
We've talked about this idea of the situation. Tell people what the situation is and basically how you taught me about how to handle a situation.
It's funny. This all started because Azhar and I, we did All of Me Funny back in the day. It was like mid-2005, 6, something like that. And we were touring all through Scandinavia and Europe and everything else in South Africa.
Yeah.
And I would always be looking around. I'm like, hey, Azhar, we got to get out of here. It's not a good situation.
Yeah.
He's like, you're always saying this, not a good situation. I was like, I assessed what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm from Houston. Mm-hmm. I'm Palestinian. I'm a refugee. My hood, Spidey, refugee senses are very strong.
Right.
It's not good.
Yes.
We need to get the hell out of here. Just certain time,
yeah.
Human beings turn into zombies, bro. You got to get the hell out of there.
There we go.
You don't want to get bitten. You got to get the hell out.
Yep.
So I was always saying this. He's like, what is this? So we created a whole lexicon around, assessing the situation, not a good situation, NGS.
Not a good situation.
Not a good situation.
VNGS is a very not
very,
good situation.
very not good. And then there's infinite. INGS, which is infinite not a good situation.
Infinite not good situation.
Which means
like,
death.
Yeah, death or you're going to end up in an orange jumpsuit type of situation.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Him putting me onto this knowledge early on protected me from a lot of situations. So people here at the office think I'm crazy, but I'm like, I'm ready for the situation.
What is it? Are you about to pull out a shotgun?
People always make fun of me because I'm ready for the situation. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, just stay ready for a situation.
Well, you have a taser?
A situation is any situation where it's like, hey, we got to go. I'm with Mo. Something's happening. All right, man, I got my U.S. passport. Bam.
Amazing.
To go. Okay.
Yeah, that's important.
Obviously, we don't know what Donald Trump's going to do.
Yeah.
Bam, I got my Indian passport right
Oh,
here.
my God.
Ready to go situation.
Incredible. You're so lucky.
I mean, you put me on.
Bro, you're such a prick, bro. Like, hey, you only have one passport? Looky here.
Yeah, I know, but also just keep
Oh, that's not, you need more than that.
No, but this has 20s, 100s, 5s, and
oh, really? Okay, you got to make every denomination.
The situation.
Because sometimes you could tip somebody $10 and they're like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And sometimes you need $100.
Right. To grease the wheel of the situation. Now we're out of cash.
Yes.
Keep a watch for
Keep a watch.
for the situation.
That's a big one.
Bro, listen.
Is that a safe house?
Everything goes away. Safe house is mom's house. This is mom's crib in Sacramento. Everything goes away. I'm talking about mom's house. I can still get into it. I'm in. I can 12:28 a.m. situation. Sacramento. I can still go home. And then you know me. I got ADD. Just keep it on the wrist.
So keep it on the wrist. Oh,
situation.
That's funny.
Oh man, he asked me to open for him on the road. I'm ready. Let's get showered.
Yeah, that's definitely
Let's
me.
be ready for this.
That's
situation.
100% me.
You put this on me. Yeah. Everybody in this office thinks I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah, you saw that hanging in my hotel one time, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry I did that to you. I didn't know I mentally screwed you this way in such a big way. You have your family key and everything. You have an escape route.
Everything goes up.
I think about it all the time. Like my house is all like self-sustaining. Some goes down, like
yeah.
I have rainwater tanks.
Yeah, you have a Scarface situation.
I got batteries, gas-powered generator. Like we gotta have it. I have spikes that come up from the ground if you go. No, I'm just
Really, bro, that's an allegory about your life, which is like anything could go left.
Yep.
So just be ready to go.
That's from my mom.
Really?
Yeah, that's 100% from my mom. That was like season 1 is the first thing I wrote. It was in 2014. I was opening for Chappelle at the House of Blues in Dallas. He walks off stage and he puts this short film in my ear. I was like, oh, you should do a short film in front of your special and da-da-da. I was like, oh, dope, short film. And when I heard Elvis Presley's track of That's All Right, Mama, and that song came on, that's all right, mama. Oh, that's all right now. Oh, that's all right, mama. You just do as you do. Oh, that's all right. When I heard that, I just started visualizing my mom grabbing the money when we were fleeing the Gulf War, how she sewed it, you know, into the purse, how she cut behind each zipper, put equal amounts of money on each side, how she like threaded the needle through. And I was looking as a little kid with a Pele jersey on, you know. I just saw the whole thing so clearly. And I was like, Dave, I know what the short film is. I know what the short film is. He was like avoiding me. He was like, what if it sucks? You know what I mean? Yeah. I grabbed his speaker. He was like, you gotta listen to it now. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Yeah. And I turned it on and I acted it out for him. He had a cigarette in his mouth and he goes, oh, that's all right. He's like, Mo, it's genius. We shouldn't put it in the special. Maybe like a movie or a TV show. I was like, oh, shit, TV show.
That scene from season 1. Yeah. Oh, it's a Scorsese movie.
It's one of my favorites.
That scene is like all-time classic.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so raw because it's so real. Yeah. And my mom watched it. She couldn't believe that I recreated it. You know, she was just like, I can't. It was very hard for her to watch.
That scene?
Yeah, that was in Houston. We found a house.
Really?
We found an older home, and I just gave them pictures from our actual house in Kuwait and the electronics that my father had and things like that. I would send them pictures.
What was your dad's official job? He was a telecommunications officer, right?
Engineer, yeah. He was a telecommunications engineer, yeah. He has an engineering degree in London. I think it was Brighton. I think he went to college in Brighton. Yeah.
But he was actually setting up like telecom phones.
He was one of the head guys at telecom for the Kuwaiti oil company. Right. That's where he was working. And then he had his own electronics store. He essentially had like a mini Best Buy in Kuwait because he was putting everybody on the game. He had like a cell phone in the 60s with that one that goes over the shoulder, that big old joint. And he was always the guy with the new tech. You know, now everybody, you know, get the new iPhone. He was always already on that. And people would see him like, what is that? You know, like he really was ahead of it. And he would fly to Hong Kong and he would fly to China pretty frequently to see what the newest tech. He would go to Japan. He would
come back with technology.
Yeah, he would import and then he opened up his own like mini Best Buy.
I knew a kid growing up and his dad would come back from trips from Japan and he was just like, this is Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yes.
And I remember being like, what?
Oh my God. Yeah. It saved him. It saved my father's life. When the Gulf War happened, he was abducted. My mom didn't know where he was. They were holding him in a facility because they were just like arresting everyone. They were just like taking random people because we lived in a hotspot of an area in Kuwait where the Iraqi military wanted to take over the Kuwaiti oil company, of course. So sure enough, they're like compounds, right? So that was like a big hotspot. My dad was kidnapped in the middle of the night and my mom didn't know where he was. And I was already gone. She already got me out of the war at that point. And my mom went back because she's such a gangster. Like she went to go finish up all the rest of the paperwork and to get everything out. And they took my dad in the middle of the night, didn't know where he was. And then they were having issues with communications where he was being held. And they were like, so you heard somebody like whining about telephones, these damn phones are not working, this and that. Yeah. And my dad is like basically a prisoner, was like, hey, I can fix it. So while he was fixing their phones, he calls my mom low key. While he's fixing the phone. Yeah. crazy. And I don't know why it's making me emotional all of a sudden, but he's an amazing man. He called her up. He's like, you need to find the Prime Minister of Kuwait. Literally, like, whoever the Prime Minister was, I might be misspeaking who is, like the guy.
Yeah.
He knows me. He's my guy. He knows that I shouldn't be here. You got to find him. And she's like, where is he? Where did I find him? He's like, I don't know. My mom was telling him, like, oh, we need to get the money out, too, from they owe you money.
Right.
He was like, forget the money. You can't get the money. And my mom goes, I'm going to get you money, and I'm going to get you out. And she hangs up the phone. So she goes on this, like, 3-week journey of trying to find this guy. Anyway, by some miracle, my mom finds him.
Yeah.
Building's in shambles. And she sees like this narrow hallway with like flickering fluorescent lights. My mom is very specific when she's describing the stories. She's like a natural storyteller. And she walks in and the office is pristine. The building is messed up, but his office is like pristine. She looks around and she sees all the electronics. She recognizes all of them. She goes, these are my husband. My husband must have like installed this. And she looks over and the guy looks at her. He's like, who are you? And he tells her, oh, my husband, Mustafa. And it's like, your husband, Mustafa, where is he? She goes, he's being held, this and that. He goes, no way. Your husband's one of my favorite human beings I've ever met. Signs a couple of documents for her. And she meets my dad at the airport. Like, they bring him handcuffed to the airport to release him. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, after like a month of being held captive, like, for no reason.
How dumb do you feel when like your router goes down and you can't fix it?
It's so stupid.
Your dad straight up pulled off a MacGyver IT.
Yeah, he pulled a
whole
MacGyver
situation.
IT situation.
And your
Then-
mom's a
my
gangster too,
mom-
where she negotiated the sign and trade.
Crazy. She gets his money and she gets him out. And she packs all the house.
And you're in Houston, right?
I'm in Houston complaining because my sister's making the same meal for the last week. And she doesn't know how to cook. She's 18 years old. She's making jaddara, which is like rice with black lentils. And I'm eating it. And I'm like, why is it in my mouth? Meanwhile, my mom is driving through burnt oil fields, essentially. All the oil fields were on fire at that point. Noon is like midnight. And I'm sitting like, oh, fucking idiot, you know?
Yeah.
I was 9. I didn't know.
Right.
But when I think back on it, I'm like, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and enjoy this rice.
Yeah.
You welcome, bitch.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. And that's like a quarter of the stories. Like they held a lot from me. You know, and I found out the stories like much later in my life.
Hey, is that story in season 1 with your dad getting tortured? Is that true?
Yeah.
They tortured your dad in prison?
Yeah. Yeah. I found out exactly the way it was in season 1. In the way I had it in season 1 at the office, in my lawyer's office. After I became a citizen and stuff, he gave me a folder. He was like, congratulations, you don't need this anymore, here you go. And it was like a thick ass folder like this. And I just started looking through it and I found a picture. I was like, what's this? Yeah.
It was a crazy situation.
Crazy. Can I get a tissue or something?
Yeah, man.
I didn't expect it to go this way, bro. We're supposed to be having fun.
Yeah, bro, I'm literally
But it's
about
real. People need to know.
No,
you know?
this
It's
is real
fine.
life. Yo, how did you make sense of like Saddam Hussein and all that stuff? Like, how do you make sense of it? Which is like all this chaos was part of this thing. They're all like, to me, video game characters from the news.
Yeah, they are video game kids.
No, for real. Because all those dudes are kind of dressed up like M. Bison
Yeah.
from Street. They're all just on some M. Bison military fatigue shit.
Yeah. Initially, as a 9-year-old kid,
Yeah.
you're obviously just pissed off at him and you're mad at everything. But then you grow up and realize very quickly that there's major global politics at play here.
Yeah.
You know, he was at a war with Iran for 8 years and then he just went into Kuwait. Like, it's just such an odd, like, immediately you want to fight Kuwait. What's Kuwait doing? You know, like, it just felt very rash and it felt like somebody maybe gave him that information. Like, I don't know anything. I'm just guessing at this point. But, you know, when you start looking at it, like, who put him into power and all this stuff, it's like, oh, this is just America working its magic
Right.
in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Geppetto just pulling the
Yeah, it's just that. There's so many people that come up to me after my shows, like, exact same story. We're in Kuwait and this and that. You know, even when I was writing season 1 and putting it together, I was like encouraged, just don't put the Kuwait part. Just you just left Palestine, you went straight to you know, Texas.
Houston,
I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, you clearly don't understand the story. There's generational displacement here. There's like layered trauma. There's more complexity to the situation. There's way more people dealing with that. There's layered multi-generational displacement, and trauma that's going on. To omit that part is a massive,
Critical detail.
absolutely a massive.
It actually matters because it's like, it's important for your character, like
Yes.
even though it is Mo, to be like, you don't understand. His home was taken away
Yes.
twice,
Yes.
and his family was displaced from their home
Yes.
twice.
Yeah, and you can go back. You can go back. This is an important detail I think people miss as well. It's like we can go back. We can go to the West Bank. We can live in that life, but then you're under occupation all the time. You don't get the same freedoms. You don't have a future. It's very hard to get a job, much less work. So it's that. Like you can go back there if you want to live under that kind of situation where you're locked in your house basically most of the time and it's dangerous to leave. But my father wanted us to have a future. My mother wanted us to have a future and a different life. So that's why we came to the States.
I was thinking about this before you came. Dude, you're a human chameleon. Palestinian, American, Houston, A-Leaf, comic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy also with your accent game is you do multiple different like cowboys
Yeah.
or people from the South.
Yeah, like you mean like the Cajun? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
you do Cajun.
Yeah, boy, come on here, like you do a little something, baby. Like, come on down to home, we'll have a good old time. Yeah.
Yeah, but you also do like, hey boy, like you do the
Hey, come on now. We all just having a good time here in Houston. Yeah, we just hanging out.
And then you have the dude now in your act with where you whistle with the
Hold on a second now. Hold on a second now. Here we go. Yeah. Hold on now. So I'll relax. That guy? Yeah, that guy's a fun guy.
Could you always do impressions?
Yeah,
did.
always since I was a kid. I learned this because when we were in Kuwait, I have a cousin of mine that would do like all this beatbox and all kinds of stuff on the phone,
Yeah.
and just play around, And then I saw my brother do all these different accents, but usually around like Gulf Arabs, or sometimes he would do a British one and things like that. But
Right.
my brother would do prank calls all the time. He would just prank call people that we knew.
Yeah.
He would just, and I learned it from him, Omar, who passed away unfortunately 2 years ago. But he's the one who like
He put you on the game. Yeah,
he
basically.
put I just saw him doing it. I was like, oh, that's funny. He's really good at the like Arab Khaliji accents, exceptional. But he's so funny, super underrated, so funny. I think he was like partly jealous that I did stand up.
Really?
Yeah, probably because he knew that he could do it too.
Like he
probably.
was naturally also funny. As
Yeah, but also he was like a very successful pilot and super brilliant mind and multiple degrees and God knows what. He's just so smart.
Yo, speaking of crazy story, your Eric Trump story is nuts.
Yeah, like crazy. Yeah, this after his dad was elected the first time. It was like November, like early December actually of 2016. But I was so exhausted. I just finished touring in Australia.
Yeah.
And I was coming straight from Australia to go to England. So that's a long
Yeah, you're
trip,
also
bro.
in transit mode. And
I'm in transit mode.
Do
I'm
you want Diet Coke or do
hoping,
you want, and you're in,
I'm like praying for the upgrade. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
please let this 1K come through, please. Like, please.
Oh, it was a United flight.
It was a United flight
Hilarious.
from Newark to Glasgow.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, please, that's all I really cared
Sure,
about.
yeah. Economy
So when
plus.
the
but you
lady
get the flat back?
Yeah, it's a
Come
flat,
on,
bro.
bro,
You
yeah.
gotta lay flat for sure.
Yeah.
And then she gave me the upgrade. She laughed. She like smiled at me. I was like, why is she smiling? Like, all right, she's happy for me, maybe.
Yeah.
Then I just walk in and I see him, and I'm looking around like this. I literally looked around. I was like, this.
You're like, there's no way.
I'm too suspicious of a person. Like, I'm always like conspiracy. Like, hey, what's going on?
Totally.
Something's off.
Situation.
Why am I sitting next to him? Like this. Where's Secret Service?
True.
I was like, where's Secret Service? Like, they're an economy.
Yo, that's hilarious.
It's so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was great. So I took a picture with him just as a joke, and I posted it online, and I put the caption, "Hey guys, good news! I worked it out." Like, just doing some comedy stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's a
hey,
bit.
no
You're doing
more
a bit.
Muslim ban, this and that. But I genuinely brought it up to him. I didn't just like say it.
You for real were like, hey, my name's Muhammad.
Hey, we're not doing that shit. Yeah, I said salam alaikum to him, and he was like, "What?" He was like, I was just messing with him, and I was like, "Yeah, we're not doing this Muslim ban shit. Like, I don't know what y'all crazy ID cards. Like, I'm just letting you know it's wild and that's not happening." He's like, "This is not happening. We do a lot of business in the Middle East. Come on, bro." I was like, "Oh, okay. So it's all a game." He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Cool." So I was like, "Can you take a picture real quick?" And I didn't really think anything of it. And then I would like wake up and see people staring at us sleeping. I'm like, oh, we're like sleeping. It was weird. It was very weird. But also when I posted, I didn't realize the repercussions of that. Like, I really genuinely thought it was just gonna be like my fans would be like, "Ha ha, this is silly."
Yeah, totally.
Whatever. And people were really angry, obviously, at that time. And then I woke up and we both looked at each other like a bad one night stand. Like, maybe we shouldn't have done this. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we shouldn't have taken that picture and posted it. Like he was on cover of every single digital newspaper. I got a text message, email from every single publication or friend that I've ever made in my life.
Dude, I remember seeing it and like laughing. I was like, this is a crazy situation.
I was paranoid. I've never been like this. I've never been in a situation like that at all. Like that's crazy. Like to go like ultra viral like that. I don't even know if it's super viral. You're on the cover of newspaper. People were writing stuff that like I said it.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk to these people. And then I called Dave. I was like, Dave, I don't know what to do about this. He goes, well, you got to do a couple of interviews to try to control the narrative. Then he goes, man, it's crazy. It sounds like, seems like fame is chasing you. I was like, that's scary. Damn. I don't know what that means, but yuck. I was like, chasing me.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to make this funny because I don't want to be a gimmick.
Right.
I'm a real stand-up. It's not.
You got to
I don't
want
want to be like, oh, this is the guy that sat next to Eric Trump. I'm like Bart Simpson. Say it again. You know that episode?
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't want to do that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So I was got to make this hilarious. So I would do the shows, like the book shows and the theaters and whatever, and I would run to every like pub open mic that was happening all throughout England and Scotland. And nobody really knew me then at all.
Right.
And so I would just be on the side and about to go on, and I'd see people looking at me go, that's the guy that sat next to Eric. I don't want to be the guy that sat next to Eric.
Gotcha.
I want to be, oh, that's Mo Amer. Crazy what happened to him. He sat next to Eric.
Right.
You got to be like, oh,
that's the comedian.
The comedian. You got to make it hilarious now.
Right.
You got to show that you're a real comedian.
Yeah.
And you got to make it funny. And that's what I did, and it crushed. And that's how I ended up on Colbert, actually.
Did you guys hear that X is suing the New York City Attorney General? Elon apparently wants to challenge the Stop Hiding Hate Act because it will require X to disclose how much they moderate sensitive speech, claiming it would violate the First Amendment. Now, at HMDK, we just started using a platform called Ground News, which shows a breakdown of publications reporting on a story in which way they tend to lean politically, right, left, or center. Now, this isn't about eliminating bias. We've all got biases. It's just trying to make you aware of potential biases of different publications so that you can factor that into your own analysis of the issue. For example, with that story about X, I was able to scroll between some of the 43 publications reporting on that lawsuit. And I noticed a right-leaning one included a photo of Elon Musk looking like a business class SEAL Team 6, while the left and center chose photos that make him look like he's about to fire UNICEF. So you should use the link in the description or go to groundnews.com/Hasan, Hasan, to get 40% off their Vantage plan, the same one that I use here at HMDK. That breaks down to just $5 a month for unlimited access. Visit groundnews.com/Hasan and subscribe today.
How many military bases have you performed at?
Over 100. I'm not sure how many exactly. Over 100, like 107, 100, I don't know. A lot.
Is that how you paid the bills?
Early on in my early 2000s, yeah, I did them.
I never talked to you about this. Why did you perform so much at, what was it about the military base gig that made you go?
Well, first of all, the first time I ever did them was April of 2001.
Yeah.
So that was 5 months before 9/11. And it was Italy, Germany, and Sicily.
Performing for the U.S. troops.
Yeah, they're all MWR shows, I think they're called, Mental Welfare and Recreation. Like USO, there's USO and there's MWR.
Yeah.
So I was just offered a gig. That's really what I was thinking about. Like, oh, snap, I can go overseas and do a tour already? That's interesting.
Yeah.
They're all Americans in the end. Like, let me see what's up,
Yeah.
So I did those shows, and it was amazing. I had a wonderful experience. I got to see, I was 19 years old. I mean,
yeah, you're a kid.
Doing shows. Like, I didn't know anything. I was in Sicily. I got yelled at by Sicilian grandma because I asked for spaghetti and meatballs. She was like, spaghetti and meatballs, it's American dish. I was in this little hole in the wall. I saw this old auntie mixing up the gravy, the sauce. Literally 2 hands, giant pot of sauce. I'm like, I'm eating here. And I asked for spaghetti and meatballs. She yelled at me, going crazy. I'm like, oh my God. She goes, I feed you like this. And she fed me. I'm pretty sure I ate pork. I was so terrified to say no. Brought all this food, didn't charge me a penny.
Wow.
She gave me a kiss on the cheek, have a great day. It was that first. It was gigs, but it quickly became more than that. After 9/11, it was very different. It was like a journey of understanding what happened to me, myself, as someone who fled war, a product of war, statelessness and whatnot. So I was just I want to understand it more. And it became it was such tension post 9/11 that I was worried to be myself. It was scary to be yourself. Imagine
Yeah.
that it was hard to be you. And I was like, fuck that. I want to be myself everywhere. So then they asked me to go. I get a call to go to Japan, Korea, and Guam to do shows there. I said, hell yeah, I'm going to go. I was scared out of my mind, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because the tensions and anger was so high. They canceled me and they said, no, we can't go. It said, for your protection. I said, for my protection? What do you mean? He goes, I don't know, the soldiers and this and that. I said, I don't give a shit. I want to go. I want to go. And if I could be myself in front of them, I could be myself in front of anybody. That was my mindset. I was out of my mind probably, but I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was that. It was like I was never felt so free before that I can talk mad shit. I can literally say whatever's on my mind. Was 100% me. Transparent. Where I come from. The fact that I wasn't even a citizen yet. I had a refugee travel document at the time. And then I realized very quickly, like, these soldiers are more culturally informed than most people in America because they've traveled abroad.
Right.
They've been to all these places. And I had so many situations where soldiers were torn apart inside emotionally that I felt they were like oversharing with me, definitely. Some to tears, quietly, like behind backstage, or seeing me walk around the base. They would have really wonderful conversations with me. And I realized, like, oh man, this is much more than just for me. This is like an important like mission almost, for people to see me and for me to see them, and to like, if I can give them and reshape their perspective of what an Arab person is or what a Muslim person is, they might think twice if they have their finger on the trigger. That's what I think about genuinely, and maybe like it was really that. And then also I got to perform. I got to do like what I love.
Yeah.
And I got to see the world while I'm doing it. It was really like kind of an insane situation to be in. But I went back like 3 times.
Wow. What percentage of like soldiers you felt like were down for war and were like, hey, I'm just in a situation where this was the best option for me in life?
I would say most of them are in that letter where it's like, hey, I got to do what I got to do. Like, I'm already signed on. Like, I can't go AWOL. Like, they're nobody, they can't, they're just taking orders for the most part. The really craziest trip I took, with the last one I did, was in 2006 2009, sorry. 6 or 9, I can't remember. I think I was 9.
Go to Iraq?
It was 9. I went to Kuwait and Iraq. I didn't go to Afghanistan.
Wow.
They asked me to go to Kuwait and Iraq. Now, I still wasn't a citizen yet, but they asked me to go do that, and I was like, oh man, that's like a true full circle moment where I can truly finally put to bed everything that I have in my heart about like Kuwait and Iraq. So I went. I said yes. I had a hard time even entering Kuwait, but I got in, and then did the
why
shows.
would they deny your entry to Kuwait?
Because I had a refugee travel document, and they don't really accept that and all that, and I had to like speak ultra American. Well, I'm here with the U.S. room. I'm doing it, and then they were very nice.
Checkout?
That was my 6 p.m.
This is very important. I have to set.
Exactly.
It's 7:45 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. They were very nice. Kuwaitis are so sweet, dude. They were very nice people. It was the first time re-entering Kuwait after we fled there almost 20 years ago. It was extremely difficult to go there. My aunt was there. My cousin was there. I couldn't see them yet. I had to fulfill the tour. So we go to Baghdad, out of Baghdad. Anyway, we land there. We go to the JVP hotel, which was Saddam Hussein's palace converted into a hotel. Now I'm staying in Saddam's house, essentially. The very reason why we left Kuwait to begin with. And I'm sitting in this chair, and this guy, a soldier, walks by. He's like, hey, that's where Saddam had his last interview. I was like, what? Started freaking out. Like, gross. I was just grossed out by the whole experience, to be honest.
Like, how do I sleep here? Like, was it
Yeah, it was very weird. It was very weird. But I got up out of a chair, and I looked down, and I looked at it, I looked around, and I looked up the interview, and I was like, sure enough, that's the damn chair. He wasn't bullshitting. It was just, it was.
Did you feel like
brutal.
you're like, I have to do this. I have to put this
I
thing
did.
to bed,
No, I did. I felt like I had to put it to bed. And I was also curious. I wanted to meet the Iraqis. I wanted to see the soldiers. I wanted to look them in their eyes. And I want to see it for myself. and I'll tell you what it is for real. Like you hear all these, there's so much stuff on television and news, and they don't really get into it. They don't get into the soul and heart of the thing. So I went, did all those shows, was on those choppers, like and flying us to the gigs in the middle of nowhere and doing shows and flipping in the middle of my set, speaking Arabic because I see Iraqi soldiers, letting them know like, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Da, da, da.
Oh wait, there were
And the
Iraqi soldiers on the base.
There were some around, yeah. They were
Yeah.
like, there's the base. Some of the shows were like the base is here,
Yeah.
so we're inside and we're all around this wall, like inside the base.
Yeah.
And they're all like pop-up bases. There weren't like, none of them were really permanent, to be honest. And then you look up and there's like Iraqi soldiers watching the show. So I would switch to Arabic, and then the soldiers like, yo, what the fuck's happening? And then I would switch back to English, and they start laughing. I was doing stuff that nobody's done before.
Yeah, this is
Still to this day,
unprecedented.
nobody's
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
Nobody's done it. So I was doing these shows, and yes, there was some like blatant. I could see the soldiers like hated me. Some of them, few. I'm talking about like 1%, genuinely. But that 1% will make you uncomfortable on stage. Like,
Right.
and I would try to break them. I keep looking at them.
Yeah,
looking at them,
yeah.
looking at them, and do it. And I would focus on them when I'm doing my stand up. While everybody's laughing, I would make sure like, hey,
There's like pocket right here.
I see
Like,
you.
Yeah.
I see you. Don't be like that. It's okay.
You had to break that.
It's
shit either.
okay.
Yeah, you
I
had to
would.
break it.
That's my way of like, it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was for them too. They had that mindset, and so many soldiers would come up to me afterwards. I'm like, man, they lied to us. They told us, what we're doing. That they would amp us up before there. They were like, they hate Jesus. They were doing this. Yeah. I was like, that's like the furthest from the truth. Like, we love Jesus. We love
Of course. Yeah.
Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. Like, we love him so much. Are you kidding me? He's like
Right.
the most mentioned prophet in our book, like in the Quran. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He was like, I know now. I didn't know then. But they wanted us to hate you. They wanted us to hate everybody. He was like, how can you go out and like, I guess, go to war and, pull the trigger if, those people believe basically the same thing you believe. You can't do that.
Right.
So they would amp them up in that way. I was like, damn. I was like, that's cold. That's real cold.
The closest for me, man. My mom works at the VA,
Yeah.
so I've seen the end of that cycle. Yeah, man. It's depressing. It's sad.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, this is a whole group and multiple generations of people that
Yep.
are kind of forgotten by society.
They're completely forgotten.
Completely.
And that's
Like,
why
it's just
that's,
like
yeah,
it really puts a perspective
It's
on war
horrible.
for me.
it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So to experience that firsthand was the thing that I needed to like close the loop, just to see it for myself, to be there, to talk to these guys, to see how much they loved me. Like after I finished my set, they're like, oh my God, that's hilarious. They were just like so in love with it.
Right.
And they were just so excited, and they were thankful, like, thank you, basically for not judging us either. And like coming here, like I don't condone war. I'm not, obviously, clearly, I hate anything with a gun. I really don't like guns at all in general. But, the experience of going there and knowing that, oh, everything I learned was a lie, really. It was just rich people fighting over money. And these are everyone that's stuck in the middle is us. We're just people, no matter where you come from. And most of those soldiers, I would say like 99% of them were really remorseful, didn't know what to do with their energy, were super grateful that would come out, even though from my background, they were like, wow, that's really crazy you did that. Like, it's crazy because some of these guys are crazy. They would tell me, like, some of these guys are fucking crazy. You need to be careful. Like, you should be careful. I was like, I'm cool. I'm good.
Right.
I really like believe that because just how I was raised and just being from Texas, I just felt like I had this edge that most guys don't have from my background. So I could walk in there and I felt okay because once they talk to me, they'll feel like, oh, it's something familiar.
Right.
And it was nuts. It was really a yucky, but really transformative experience for me.
We do these interviews all the time, and when they're like, does comedy change people's minds? Can you
Yeah.
change the world through comedy?
Yeah.
Like for me, the way I answer it is like, comedy is the way I express. It's for me too. I gotta express myself, and I got something
Sure.
to say. Do you think it can change someone's mind? I think in that moment they can see like,
Yeah.
our humanity, on some.
I don't really like the change thing. The change word is like where I get allergic. I like the shift. It causes a shift, surely. There's some kind of shift in thought. I don't know about change. Change is really harsh. Like, change who you are, change this, change that. Like, this word gets used too often.
Totally, yeah.
You know, I think it's a shift. I feel like that's more realistic, number one. It's like, it creates this new shift in a direction of thought process that you didn't have before.
Yeah, it's
there's
like
an experience.
It's like
Will it over time make the impact? Yeah, but you need to pile it on. You can't just have one experience and be like, I'm a different person now.
Right.
No, you need work. You
I
need
saw the 10 o'clock show at the San Jose Improv. I'm a different person.
I'm a different person.
Yeah,
No, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
You need to have more experience with that. Like, it definitely shifts people's mindset. It definitely jars their perception of what they've learned before, what they know about us before. Like, that's significant. And I've seen it. And maybe it does eventually create that change. But
No, I like that. I like that framing, the shift.
And it creates an opportunity to make a real difference in the communities by having those experiences, right? Like, I lived in a really countryside of Houston, like for a minute.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was the only guy in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they love me. I love them back. You know, like, we're all there for each other.
Right.
Still friends.
Yeah.
Still text each other, how you doing? How's it going? You know, I moved out of that neighborhood, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you still, how's it going? How you doing? I see their posts. I'm like, their kids are graduating. Oh man, so they're all grown up. It's wild. I think the more you don't also seclude yourself, because we do this too in our community. Like, you see that, oh, it's us and it's them. They're scared. It's fear. It's all this. There's all these projections that happen. But the more you like walk in and be like, what's going on, y'all?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
that's
you've always been that guy. Like,
yeah.
It's almost like if the world was high school, you've been the dude who's been able to kick it with whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
You speak Spanish
all the time.
You speak Arabic, English, Texas. Like,
it was always like
you
that.
go everywhere.
I do, 100%. I feel comfortable in all those areas too. I feel very comfortable with like a bunch of Southern guys in camouflage chilling outside. You know, they're all cracking beers. I'm not a beer guy. He's like all drinking beers and stuff. They're all going at it.
Yeah.
But something about that, like, feels like home. I don't know.
Right.
They all believe in God. They're very country. We love our country too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like this. You look at it and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's something very familiar here.
Totally,
I could totally hang out until like 7 p.m. before y'all really shit-faced and somebody pulls out a shotgun.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You slept with my sister. You know what I mean? Something happens.
thing,
Then leave before that happens. But yeah, something feels good about that environment too to me. Something familiar about that as well. They're sweet people. They're kind people. They want to barbecue. They want to overfeed everybody.
Yeah.
They want to be, you know, hospitable. There's all qualities that we have. I love that. Latinos in the same way. I hear the music happening down the street. I'm like, I get jealous. I'm like, oh, they're having a good time.
Right.
Everybody's like, turn off that Tejano music. I was like, turn it off or join it.
Yeah.
Join it might be cool. You know, aunties are cooking in there right
For
now.
sure, bro.
You need to get them
Facts.
fajitas while you can.
Facts.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you found out that you've been having the fake version of something your entire life? Outraged? Angry? Well, get ready to get mad, because every cup of chai that you've bought at some chain coffee shop here in America is fake. It's packed with tons of sugar and artificial flavors that are horrible for your health. And for some reason, they keep spelling my name wrong. But it doesn't have to be that way. Kolkata chai is changing all of that. Zero sugar and natural ingredients that you can actually pronounce. Organic black tea, cardamom, black pepper, fresh cinnamon. It's the boldest cup of chai you can find with their unique range of chai blends and concentrates. And you don't have to stand in line for it for hours. You can make it at home in minutes. It's the only chai that's allowed in the Minhaj household. All other chais are forbidden. Head to kolkatachai.co/Hasan to grab your first cup and 2 free gifts on me.
Listen, man, I told you this. I opened for you the other night. I said it on stage before I got off. Episode 208 is an all-time classic. It's an ode to your father. It makes me think about my dad. Why don't you tell people what went into that episode and why it was so important? You had it in your mind. Take people through your process and why it had to build to that moment where you're in the mosque. Why don't you paint that picture for us?
Well, there was a couple of how I ended up at 208 finale, but all right. So number one is you got to start with the subject matter, the fact that I'm Palestinian, the fact that I want a Palestinian family to go home, right? living in a post-October 7th world, we were like, hey, do you talk about October 7th? I was like, well, if I do that, first of all, we're a comedy show. Second of all, like every time I started to attempt to write about that world, it became a very dramatic show, and it became very didactic, and it really lost track of everything. Also, the most significant detail as well is that the family doesn't get to go back. Like if that's the world we're living in, we don't get to go back. And there's a very important story that needs to be told, which is based off of my own experience taking my mom and my brother back to Burin, in the village we're from. So the first time I went back, I went and caught myself in a situation where I had to do the call to prayer at the masjid.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do it, but they were like really forcing me to do it. And in that moment, after I did it, I felt all
By the
these,
way,
like,
man,
feelings.
this is like low key a selfish move. By the way, it's like it's not cool when
Yeah.
they put you in the spot. Like
They
you're
did
like,
put me in a spot.
Yeah, you're like you don't know. How do you know if I'm even good at it?
Yeah, no,
Like,
they
make
don't.
me.
No, my cousin.
But they'll
was
put you up at the free throw line.
Yeah,
Like,
they
shoot.
did. They did.
And you're like
3-point line. It was like shoot this half court shot. I
Yeah.
felt like a half court shot
through
more
the
than
speakers. So it's
yeah.
the call to prayer. So everybody
Call to
gotta
prayer. The
hear it.
entire village,
It's
right?
the equivalent of being like, "Yo, sing right now."
Sing
And you're
right
like,
now. Yes,
come
I
on,
can't do it.
man.
I
But I
can't.
can sing in my heart.
It was so,
Don't
it was so
don't make me
scary.
sing.
Like
Yeah.
Jane, when I did it, it was really scary.
Yeah.
When I had my cousin next to me, I was like, I don't want to mess up. I
Yeah.
haven't done it enough like this. And
حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة.
but when I did it, I felt so much calm, and I couldn't believe that just happened. My first time coming back to Burin, and all of a sudden I'm doing a call of prayer to the village. This is like, what a moment. Like the divine right, such an incredible thing. And then this guy storms in. He's like, what are you doing?
مين اللي أذن؟
محمد هي أذن محمد انت اللي اذنت شو
انت
انت اللي اذنت
انت اذنت قبل الوقت ب10 دقائق.
Who did the call to prayer?
Oh no.
And they all sold me out. It was like him. I was like, you guys told me it was the whole thing. And then the clock was 10 minutes ahead, so I messed up everything. And then he figured out who I was, and he figured out who my father was, and he was like, oh my God.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
I know.
أبوك مصطفى فتح أول محل.
Your dad's the one who installed the microphone equipment and the speaker system here in the mosque, and I lost it. I just completely, I didn't lose it at that moment. I was like contained, and then I left. And I just like, just out of control, like weeping. I was happy, but also like, who could have written anything? Nobody would have seen this.
Yeah, cosmic destiny. It's just
Cosmic
crazy.
destiny, 100%. And then I had a similar situation where I was, on tour in Kuwait, and I looked at my manager Mustafa. I was like, bro, you see this picture? This picture here, like, I wonder what happened to this camcorder I'm holding. And 2 days later, I'm with my aunt in Jordan, and she says, I have this camcorder for you. 30 years later, this camcorder appears.
Mama, that's the picture I was showing Mama on the plane.
Yeah.
It's the same camcorder.
And my cousin comes in with plastic bags full of VHS tapes that are just filled with home videos. I didn't have any video footage of my father. I uncovered it all. They didn't even know I was on there. So that night I'm at the hotel. I look at Adi Khalifa, who's my opening act in Jordan, who ended up playing my cousin in 208. And he was filming me looking through the viewfinder in this camcorder.
Yeah.
And it was like, the first one was like a Michael Jackson concert. And I was like, wait, hold on. Second one was another Michael Jackson concert. I was like, oh my God.
Michael Jackson.
مايكل جاكسون طب خد جربها بمسكها
But by the way, those are some bangers.
Bangers.
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Bangers.
Michael
bangers.
Jackson 93 Super Bowl.
Come on,
Remember when
crazy.
he had a Saddam like suit too, by the way.
Yeah, he did. He
In
100%
early 90s,
had.
he
Yeah, he
had
did. He had the general suit.
Yeah, he was
It's
M.
fire.
Bison. He was in
Yeah.
his M. Bison bag.
Yeah. So that experience, those like piling on and how raw that is. And I remember Adi like filming me.
Yeah.
I was like having this out of body experience where I was laughing and crying, like discovering this footage. Like, wow, this is unbelievable. Like, how does this happen again? Experiencing all that, having my mom there, seeing her see everything for the first time in 37 years, walk around where she was born, and seeing how emotional she was. And she was just like weeping alone, just sitting on the furniture that's still there from like when she was born, like
Wow.
40, 50s furniture is still in the house.
Crazy.
My uncle preserved everything, So just like just piling it all together to make the most amazing, incredible, most grounded, emotionally just significant episode that I could make. And that's what I did. I mean, initially the episode was like 62 minutes. I was like, oh my God, we filmed a movie in 10 days. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A layered episode where a Palestinian family gets to go home to their village and to see what day to day is like. It was divine writing. You just like, you know, I said this before, like the divine gives you something and don't mess with it. Just keep it, preserve it, and then build around it.
The fact that you were able to make it, bro, this is a spiritual Spider-Man multiverse moment.
Yeah.
Like in all the multiverses, the fact that it lined up in this way and you were able to do that and combine the archival footage is incredible.
You know, I wanted people to know, like, this is real.
Right.
You know, this is not just like some fictionalized thing. And I remember my mom getting all these calls after the show dropped. She was like, I thought you made a comedy. She goes, everybody's calling me crying.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Everybody's calling me crying. I was like, no, it's funny.
Uh-huh.
It's very funny, but you know, episode 8 is really hard.
Right.
But it has to be. That's what it is. You know, it's just you can't control it. There's a lot of heart behind it. She watched the final episode with me. I had to watch it with her.
Yeah.
And it took her a while to work up the courage to see it because it was really hard to see.
Right.
And she watched it. She was crying the whole time. But she couldn't believe it. Like the village where she's from is on the most biggest platform in the world.
Yeah.
You know, that was like a really powerful moment.
You guys shot that in Malta, right?
Parts of it in Malta, and then all the cutaways are in my actual village. Wow. Everything is, I sent a splinter unit to go out there to get all the shots. Some of it where I had it archived from 22, from when we did season 1. Right. I was very deliberate about, I want to use our actual village. I don't want to just license some random footage. Right. This is, to me, like very, very important to preserve it and to be accurate. I don't want my family to watch it like, what the hell is that, you know?
Listen, man, one of the things that I owe you a thank you for is your life story, specifically with your pops, the appreciation you have for your pops. You've helped me reconcile a lot of situations that I've been in with my dad and just put past misunderstandings behind us. And my whole journey in comedy, you co-signed it. You know,
it's so important.
20 years ago, my dad took me to go see him. He was performing at Allah Made Me Funny in Sacramento, brought me to your hotel room. And he basically thought you were going to do a Scared Straight.
Yes. Yeah.
Back
it was such like the backhanded thing. It was like basically, here's my son talking about a comedy. I'm like, what? This is what I do.
And you also know how humiliating that is, bro, to make your
son.
It
was horrible. And I was like, who's this guy bringing this guy? Like, I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
Because I was the first one who told me about it. I was like, yeah, of course. Like, let's do it. But I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is kind of odd.
So basically, he was performing in Sacramento, which is the town, like the city that I grew up in.
Yeah.
After the show, I was doing a show at the Punchline, and my dad was like, look, stop with this nonsense. Yeah. You're going to go meet with these guys. They'll tell you about how awful the industry is. But man, you were super warm. I was a very young, naive. I was also defensive too.
Yeah, very defensive.
Very defensive. Very defensive energy.
But you were dope though. We knew we were dope. Like when I was saying, I was like, this guy's dope. Like he really knows. He really loves the craft. Like my whole thing is that, are you a real like comedian? Are you really care about this? Because now you even see comics like doing specials. They don't even tour. It's crazy to me. Like you have to get better at your craft. The only way to do it is to do stand up. There's no shortcut.
Yeah.
But you were always so dope. I was like, oh man. I was like, yo, you gotta. And then I knew you knew some people in Houston. I was like, oh, this kid like really.
Yeah.
He's really doing stand up. I was like, oh, this is great.
So there were these things where I was like, no, this is the thing I'm pursuing. And you basically were like, look, man, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. It's kind of like you're in the mafia. Yeah. It's like you're gonna keep doing this or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Essentially.
No, it's important. You gotta like go all in. You gotta be broke. You can't have a side job.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I like to. You know, I'm working daytime here, and I'm no. You gotta quit everything. Yeah. You have to be broke. You have to feel what it's like to be broke, and you gotta like continue to taste that to like I don't ever want to be broke again. Like you have to do that. And as far as like your dad's relationship, you know, my dad when he passed away, I'm like I didn't have a great relationship with him when he passed away. It was devastating. Like he didn't. I know that if my dad genuinely thought he was gonna pass, like he would have had a convo with me, and we would have squashed this teenage bullshit that I was going on, you know, but that didn't happen. And my whole life goal for the rest of my life, anyone I meet, not just anybody I care about, I could not give a shit about you maybe. But if I see you with your parents, any kind of beef, you gotta get rid of it. Cause I know how incredibly painful it is to live with something for the rest of your life. It's horrible. And thankfully, I've had like amazing dreams with my father. I've fulfilled like a big life purpose of mine. I have a son. Like this is more than anything, more than money, fame. If you're living with something that's just so deeply painful and you're carrying around, I'm like, yo, whoever I meet
Yes.
that I see is having any kind of issues, yo, you better get your shit together. Go fix it.
And in your early 20s, there's just a lot of
Yeah,
energy. There's a lot of like, I need a mea culpa.
Yeah.
I need a
Yeah,
explanation.
exactly. Bro, I hate that I'm so emotional right now. What's
bro,
going on?
All right, listen. I don't know.
No,
how
it's
to,
fine.
I don't know how to say thank you. Like, how do
You
I
don't
say
have to
thank
say
you to
thank
Mo? Bro,
you,
you're
bro.
my
I love
brother,
you.
and I love you so
Yeah.
much.
Love
So
you
I got
too.
2 gifts for you because I was like, how do I give a man who's been in every situation a gift? I have a gift from Texas.
Oh, shit.
Austin, bring in the gift from Texas.
All right.
And then I just got another situation because we're always in situations.
Yeah, what is it?
The first gift is a Texas gift.
All right, what's the Texas gift?
Your Texas gift. Do you
Oh,
know what
that's
this is?
fire.
Do you know what this is?
Hold on. It's a what? Oh, the boo kick. This is sick. I love this.
It's a very Texas
It's
gift.
cast iron, bro. It's fire.
Yeah. When I
is
stayed with
cool.
you in Houston, I was like, oh, he's really Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, we don't mess around, bro.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
and it's the next one. I wasn't playing with you the other night
is
where I
sick.
was like, I need to give you the lawnmower 4.
What is it?
This is for every situation.
Bro, I'm very happy that I got this. You don't understand. I'm not a super hairy guy, but
This is not a product placement. This is a joke. I'm joking, not joking here.
no,
But this
no,
is a real thing.
I really asked for it
Yeah.
though. When you said, yeah, I do Manscaped, I was like, yo, is that true that doesn't cut you and stuff, bro?
I was like, it's incredible.
Super important. The lawnmower
Every critical
4.0.
area. And by the way, and by the way, look at the logo. Like that's a lot to stand on a thing of
Where's the
a scrotum.
Oh,
You
is
know
that what
I mean?
that
A
is?
scrotum.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? To just be like, we're gonna put all the chips in this.
Well, it has like angel wings, the scrotum. That's
sure.
nice.
Hey, you got to protect what's most important.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I look at my son all the time. Like, I can't believe he came from my balls. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Oh, this could go out the barbershop too.
Of course. But you're
'Cause
on
people get
tour.
sloppy
You got
and
the
stuff.
cowboy hat in the joint.
Bro, this
I
is
thought
fire.
This would be
Oh,
perfect.
this is incredible. I love it.
All right, love you, bro.
Love you too, bro. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I got you a gift too. What do they got over there?
Some Sacramento
Thank
bullshit.
you.
Yeah, I got you from this from the Sacramento Ross Dress for Less.